Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that pass! Goal for Manchester City!
Saka takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out! Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending where you are across the world, and welcome along to Premier League on TCHub Live. It's the London derby again for Arsenal after the North London derby last week. It's in the London derby this week as they welcome Chelsea to the Emirates Stadium for this afternoon's Premier League encounter. The two teams have just emerged from the tunnel down below us. What is going to be a very, very good atmosphere here inside the stadium of the Emirates this afternoon. There is Emirates Eze who comes out as the last one in the Arsenal line of the players will come out of the tunnel. They're about to go through the handshakes any second now, and we will now go through the handshakes. But while they're going through the handshakes, let's take a look at the two lineups today, starting with Arsenal. A lineup with David Raya in between the sticks today, continuing his final run of form in between those sticks for Arsenal today, who are managed by Mikel Arteta. It's a familiar looking back line from what's been happening in the past few weeks for Arsenal, reviewing Timber starting a right back, William Saliba and Gabriel continue their fine partnership in central defence. Piero Hincapié starts at left back. Martins Zubimendi and Declan Rice play in the midfield with Emirates Eze, from what we've got here, from what he's showing on the TV. Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard are going to be helping the front line of Victor Gyökeres, who's looking to score another goal in the Premier League for the Gunners this season. On the bench, Kai Havertz, Noniman Weke, Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, no place in the squad for Martin Odegaard. As for Chelsea, then, managed by Liam Rossinha, who's already played Arsenal a few times this season since taking charge at Stamford Bridge, keeps faith with Rob Sanchez in between the sticks. Across the back then is Reece James, Amadou Sarr, Trevor Chalobah and João Ato comes in. João Ato, should I say? João Ato, should I say there? Moses Caicedo and Andre Santos in front of the back four. The midfield trio in front of them is Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez and Pedro Neto. That's a fluid midfield three behind the striker, as all like to move about. And leading the line is the Brazilian João Pedro. On the bench, the likes of Romeo Lavio's back from injury, Alejandro Garnacho, Marguerite, Liam Delap tossing amongst those on the bench there. Let's quickly run you through the bench, the match officials then, as we can take a look here. As Darren England is the match referee from Doncaster. It's got Ledger, Akil Houghton, Stuart Howell for official duty today. John Brooks is in VAR, should we need them, alongside Dan Rutherford, and let's hope there is no bad officiating today in the Premier League, as there were yesterday at Ellen Road in the game between Leeds United and Manchester City. More on that on another stream another day. Let's take a quick look then at the head-to-head between the two sides. As we can see, Arsenal with more wins against Chelsea. Last meeting was a 1-1 draw. Arsenal with a 4.42 XG, Chelsea with a 5.23 XG. Let's take a look then as the two goalkeepers compare, as North London forever rings around here at the Emirates. David Raya, 28 games played, 2 more games played than Rob Sanchez. His save percentage is 66.1, as for Rob Sanchez 69.3. There in the 1.95 save economy rate for David Raya, 2.23 for Rob Sanchez. As you can see there, Rob Sanchez 1.15 goals against average compared to David Raya's 0.75. 21 goals conceded by Raya, 30 for Rob Sanchez. As we're about to get this game underway very, very soon, with Declan Rice standing over the ball then for this Premier League encounter. We'll get to your comments in a second. Please do keep them clean as the game is underway. As ball sends long by David Raya. Downfield, headed away there well, and it's picked up here by William Saliba, who drops the ball back to David Raya once more. Let's run you through the two benches in full. But in the moment is also send the ball forward, looking for Bukayo Saka down the right hand side, picked up by Martin Zubamendi. Down the line again to Bukayo Saka, who flicks on, looking for Emirates Eze. Tackled well there by Chelsea's Ato clears the ball. And we're looking for João Pedro, but William Saliba does well there to win the header forward. Ed Tennis at the moment, but João Pedro plays it out wide, looking for Cole Palmer, shifted out to the left hand side compared to what we've got him on here on the right. The two benches there for Arsenal is Kepa Arrizabalaga. Zeus, Gabriel Martinelli, Noni Madueke, and Kai Havertz is a full Arsenal bench. As for Chelsea, then Philip Jorgensen, Tosin Adebayo, Benoit Badiashile, Melo Gusto, Josh Achimpong, Romeo Lavia, as I mentioned, back from injury, played in the game against Leeds under 21s last week at Coburn, the training ground of Chelsea's. Liam Delap, Morguiu, and Alejandro Garnacho, as well, the former Manchester United player. As Chelsea just knocking the ball around at the back with audio comment in the comment section, which is from Media Radio Jingles and Games. Says, good afternoon, Russ, and the rest of the fabulous, fantastic commentary team. Let's hope Arsenal can try and get a win here, which I do think it will be an hard game against Chelsea. And he also said, it is very clear, also said, if anyone comments, please keep it clean. We are a family-friendly show here at the commentary. Here is João Pedro doing well, holding up Gabriel, who goes down to João Pedro and Gabriel, if he said play on, did Darren England there. And it remains 0-0 here between Arsenal and Chelsea early on in the Premier League, as the ball is in field to Martin Zubamendi. There is Declan Rice now for Arsenal. Now back here to Gabriel, who's playing on the left of the back four for Arsenal, of the central defenders. William Saliba to his right, Piero Hincapié to his left, as he picks up possession now. And here is Gabriel, sends the ball forward into Leandro Trossard, who was being chosen again ahead of Gabriel Martinelli. A lot of people thought Martinelli made play today on my left hand side. I did personally as well. I was doing my preparation for this game. And now it's across here to Piero Hincapié, who can find Emirates Eze in midfield for Arsenal, dropping into deeper positions as well. But he does like to get forward into the number 10 role as well, which he will like to be playing today. But he can drop back into that midfield if necessary as well. Here is Hincapié, who can look to come forward. He said he goes back to Declan Rice, who can take a couple of touches before releasing the ball to Gabriel, and across there to William Saliba. Saliba will drop the ball back into Gabriel once more, and he plays it into Declan Rice. Rice drops it back to Gabriel once more. He sends the ball long downfield, looking for the run there of Victor Gyökeres, who can't get there, as Rob Sanchez has the ball back now for Chelsea as they look to brave forward. Here's Mamadou Sarr on the left of the back central defenders for Chelsea, compared to what we've got in front of us here, but we can work with that. But here is Saliba again into Eze. Mazus Caicedo went straight into the back of Eze, who managed to stay on his feet and keep possession for Arsenal. Here's Gabriel coming up towards halfway to Trossard. Now Hincapié. Declan Rice back to the aforementioned Gabriel. In fact, it's William Saliba actually. Saliba gets the ball in field to Leandro Trossard, back into Saliba now, and Saliba sends this ball long downfield, giving away to Trevor Chalobah, as Chelsea will look to come forward as they look to try and get a victory at the Emirates Stadium. Not many teams have done that this season, get a victory on Arsenal's home turf. If you're tuning in to us for the very first time today, hello, thank you very much for doing so. On the screen there, you can see the team form for these two sides, as Chelsea just almost gave possession away there to Victor Gyökeres, but manages to keep hold of possession. Here's the captain, Reece James, who can play the ball infield there to Moses Caicedo. Now it's Mamadou Sarr into Cole Palmer, who come deep to win possession. He's not getting much joy on the wings in position. Now back to Rob Sanchez in goal, who can spray the ball out wide for Ato. Onto Fernandez in field to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer sends Zubimendi for a slip. We've now found Caicedo with possession. Palmer has it back now, and he will play back to the aforementioned Moses Caicedo. Across there to Calabar, forward to Pedro, now into the field of Reece James, now out to Pedro Neto, look to cut in. Infield to Cole Palmer, who lines up a strike. Well, that's a wayward strike, and always going wide in the end there. Coming up towards 6 minutes gone, it's 0-0 between Chelsea and Arsenal. Arsenal and Chelsea here in the Premier League today. If you're tuning in for the very first time today, please do us a massive favour. Please click the subscribe button down below. It is free to do so. As we see the area which Chelsea almost lost possession from. It was Victor closing down Rob Sanchez, and just managed to get away before as he managed to take it off him. Sanchez very rarely slips in that sort of area for Chelsea. Goal kick just taken by Saliba as Ryan now finds Gabriel. Sends the ball downfield to Victor Gyökeres, who just holds up the play well. Feeds in Piero Nkapie. Can't get the ball forward, but here's Victor Gyökeres this time. Infield to Eze. Clever flick around the corner from Martin Zubimendi. Further to the right hand side, and Jurrien Timber down the line for Bukayo Saka, the captain for Arsenal. Into the penalty area for Declan Rice, who shot his eye wide and also hands him behind the goal away to my left hand side. Arsenal, if you're just joining us in there, red shirts with white sleeves, white shorts and red socks. Chelsea in their blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks this afternoon. If you're tuned into us for the very first time today, thank you very much for doing so as we watch this game unfold in the Premier League. As Ato drops the ball down the line, but picked off quite easily by Arsenal there. And wonderful ball inside to Leandro Trossard from Jurrien Timber. So this other penalty now takes the shot, is blocked. Pedro gets it back and wonderful ball forward. Just cleared away. And now Declan Rice can pick up possession. He drops the ball back here now, and here comes Trossard, who loses out to Moses Caicedo. Reece James now picks up possession and gets the ball forward for João Pedro. Pedro just controls it, plays it away from Nkapie to Neto. Neto drops it back here now to Chalobah, infield to Caicedo, who will look to win this ball forward. Good ball in to Pedro Neto. Neto drops the ball back. Now and here comes Caicedo. Back it goes now to Rob Sanchez. Sanchez gives the ball to Caicedo, who's lost it to Bukayo Saka. And then Zubimendi's ball forward, looking for Eze, blocked by Bukayo Saka, which not very often you see those two getting with each other, Saka and Zubimendi. Here is Chalobah now for Chelsea. Just playing an E1-2 there quite well as they look to come forward. Here's Pedro Neto, back to Chalobah once more. Santos was dropped into the middle of the two centre-backs for Chelsea. They now played out well there. And here's Enzo Fernandez, wonderful ball forward. Just picked off by Jurrien Timber, but Chelsea have got the ball back as Cole Palmer runs towards the edge of the penalty area. Inside the penalty area now, Cole Palmer. Twisting, turning. Ato. Fernandez. Fernandez goes down on the challenge of Bukayo Saka, and a free kick will be given the way of Chelsea for the foul there by Bukayo Saka on Enzo Fernandez. Brilliant play there by Ato, and then there is Saka coming in from behind, just catching the back of the legs of Enzo Fernandez, who goes and gets a free kick given against him, and a little talking to from down in England, who's from Doncaster, not far from me, that way from where I live. Just a train journey away, or even a bus journey away from where I'm situated, as I live in Yorkshire as well. Here's Pedro Neto with a ball in towards the Antares flicked on. Who saws in there, can't direct it towards goal, and he goes behind for a goal kick to Arsenal 0. Chelsea knows the ball was whipped in. It looked like Son may have just been offside anyway. There's some holding going on there on Trevor Chalobah by Jurrien Timber, which was not being punished by the officials, and he just come off the shin there. You can see on that last replay, just off the shin there of Mamadou Sarr. I just thought he got his connection all wrong with his foot, but he actually bounced off his shin. The ball over the top, looking for the run there of Victor Gyökeres. Had too much pace and power on it. The first Premier League start for Mamadou Sarr today, the Senegalese international. And he almost got a goal on his first Premier League start as well if he connected to that ball into the penalty area. A lot cleaner than what he would have won than what he had done. Ato now controls possession well. Back to Fernandes. Now Sarr once more. Ato gives the ball away. Sarr won it back. Fernandes tries to get it from Martin Zubimendi and Bukayo Saka. Zubimendi is penalised for a foul on Enzo Fernandez. And for me there, with Enzo Fernandez, yes, it's a foul, and he does get a free kick there. But for me, I would book him for sarcastically clapping me if I was the referee there for giving that free kick. You don't see many referees do that these days, but that's what I would do. As the ball is with Rob Sanchez now, as Chelsea will look to come forward with Chalobah. Down the line is Reece James. Infield to Santos. Palmer on the corner, big outer blue shirt. Eze drops it back to Zubimendi into Saliba. Now Gabriel. Here's Timber. Saliba once more. Rice. Zubimendi. Gabriel. What can he do with possession here? Gabriel infield to Rice. Rice is out of the centre circle. Back out towards this left hand side. And Gabriel forward he goes. Cleared away. Here's Santos with possession into Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer. Can he get the ball forward? Twisting, turning, controlling. Caicedo to Santos. Palmer again. Gives the ball away to Zubimendi. Now Eze with Saka. Ball over the top looking run of Gyökeres. Eze coming under his spell. It's called Palmer. Spins away. The opposite number 10. Sure number wise, but can also play in that position. Eze is playing in that position today for Arsenal, rather than the 4-3-3 that we actually got. It's turned out to be a 4-2-3-1 for Arsenal today, with Zubimendi and Rice playing that big deeper, with Eze in between Saka and Trossard in the Arsenal attack. From how it's shaped up today, and Gyökeres leading the line on his own. So the match done with Chelsea, with how they've got of Arsenal. Sometimes you see that from teams match up with the opposition. I suppose it was a penalty, looking for the run there with João Pedro, and then also João Lato on the back post from Reece James to deliver it. But they couldn't get on any bit, neither Pedro or Lato, as that ball goes behind there for a goal kick. Wonderful delivery though. Just one bounce too many. But had he just slid there, Pedro may have got something on it. Just directed goalwards. As Raya finds Gabriel. As Arsenal go into the game fairly quickly from that goal kick. And Trossard, who's back to the play, has to go back to his own goalkeeper. He's almost under pressure from Reece James, the supposed Chelsea right back, playing that bit further forward, a bit higher up, as Santos Gibson can't keep possession. He's in. As this, but Sanchez off his line, and oh my word, Sanchez just keeps the ball in play, almost lobbing there. Emirates Eze almost going out Rob Sanchez, which is still 0-0. If you're just joining us this afternoon here in the Premier League, Russ Vernon getting you through the action for this big Premier League encounter between Arsenal and Chelsea. 15 minutes gone here. It remains 0-0. Chalobah with possession. Back it goes now to Rob Sanchez with the ball. He sends the ball forward. Brought down by João Pedro, who's been found as a yes. Going to the referee and he's brought it back for the first foul there on João Pedro. So we see just this ball again here. Look at this from Eze from just inside the Chelsea half. Going way off limits and he just does he keep it in? Yes, Rob Sanchez just keeps the ball in. Ooh! Does it? The angle looks like he's off of the field. It looked like from that angle there that I just showed you that ball was out of play when he touched it for a second time, Rob Sanchez. And it should have been a corner to Arsenal there, in my opinion. But play went up. 60 minutes have done now and it's 0-0. It's been a good game so far. Really good to have you joining us here on the channel. If you're all wanting to know when we're next live, please do click the subscribe button and click the bell so you can get notified of when we're live next here on the channel. And it remains Arsenal 0, Chelsea 0 here in the Premier League as we watch this game unfold. Drops the ball back here to Rob Sanchez, who gives the ball away to Declan Rice. Now Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side for Arsenal towards the penalty for Victor Gyökeres, and the ball is behind for a goal kick to Chelsea there. Good bit of play there from Chelsea, the press there from Arsenal, should I say, on Chelsea. Declan Rice was found. Bukayo Saka was spun in behind and took on Sarr. Reflection into Gyökeres with his ball round the corner looking for Timber. Had too much on it and remained scoreless if you're just showing into it for the very first time today. Thank you very much for doing so. Russ Vernon, your match commentator for this big Premier League encounter between Arsenal and Chelsea as the ball is played forward into Cole Palmer's feet. Palmer runs forward, gets down wide to Pedro Neto. Neto lives a crossing towards the penalty area. And Atto stayed wide there. He may have got that, but I think he's took a deflection en route. That's it. And gone behind for a corner. It has. Reece James is across there to take it. Atto has gone short too. And so too has Cole Palmer. Well, Reece James will deliver this ball into the penalty area for Chelsea. So Atto moves away, so does Palmer. The ball's in towards the near post. But Thomas Capien just wide for a goal kick. I think he must have hit a Chelsea shirt after Capien flicked it on. I'm not sure he did. I thought he went just behind after Capien flicked it on. It looked like from the angle there and Capien didn't touch it. But from the first one, it looked like Capien did touch it. As Saka gets towards the penalty area and was dispossessed. He's got possession again. Goes down. No free kick given against Ato, who sends the ball towards this right hand side looking for Neto, and Capien wins the header back on the ball back through Arsenal. Trossard finds Gabriel and gets the ball back this time from Zubimendi. Does Leandro Trossard. Just shy of the halfway line, but it goes back to Gabriel further back and to the side for William Saliba. Good ball infield from Gabriel to Saliba. Here is Jurriën Timber forward into Victor Gyökeres, round the corner for Bukayo Saka. Down the line is Jurriën Timber. Timber with the ball into the penalty area, cleared away behind for a corner. Good play this by Arsenal. Down that right hand side, as we see it again here. There's a Chelsea man down, which is Enzo Fernandez. I think he just winded him. Yes, he just hit him right in the middle of his chest. which it can be painful and be winded. But he can be winded at times. He's now back up on his feet, helped up by Yarrow Latter. And he remains 0-0 between Arsenal and Chelsea in the Premier League this afternoon. Arsenal with a corner. They've scored 14 goals from corners this season, have the Gunners. Can they will look to gun down Chelsea from this set piece to score their 15th goal from a corner this season. Bukayo Saka to take this corner, then on that far side, he's delivered into the penalty area towards the back post. Gabriel is the back post, and is it in? It is, and Arsenal have scored. And it looks like it's William Saliba who is running away celebrating. And Arsenal take the lead. Just trying to get confirmation. Who's got the final touch? Was it Saliba or was it another header on the line? William Saliba's getting the accreditations from the Arsenal defence players around him. But let's look at this again. I believe it's William Saliba who's got the goal. It's a corner which was nipped to the back post, which Gabriel made that run on. And he back across goal. It actually comes off Mamadou Sarr. Last, but I believe the header from Saliba. He's heading into the back of the net anyway. So William Saliba has scored for Arsenal. And he's 1-0 to the Arsenal from a set piece. And the Arsenal fans like to sing about the score from set pieces. And the chant they normally sing is set piece again, ole ole. And Arsenal will like, after City won yesterday and Leeds United, will like to be extending their lead once again here this evening in the Premier League. The ball is sent forward by Rob Sanchez, headed away there by William Saliba, the goal scorer. A wonderful bit of play from Chelsea. Just knocking the ball around. There's the ball forward from Declan Rice. Sarr's there. He didn't know much about it, Sarr. And he remains 1-0. As he tried to block it, he went into the back of the net. It's just looked to try and respond, but Arsenal got the ball back with Trossard, who, despite me saying that, and really some Arsenal fans thinking that Martinelli would have started, he's done quite well when he's going to the play. Here's Declan Rice through Arsenal down the left hand side, ball into the penalty area, cleared away, and he's behind for yet another corner. Saw this time deflecting behind and the right side of the posts from a Chelsea persuasion. As you can see there, the goal from William Saliba on 21 minutes. Will Arsenal get a second goal from this set piece as well? And can they, and Arsenal fans, if they do, Arsenal fans will be singing about set pieces yet again here. Declan Rice this time to take this corner. Bukayo Saka with this pre-assist on the last one. Is Rice this time into the penalty area, cleared away. This time by Chelsea, that's better defensive work there as he drops it back to David Raya. On halfway is the Spaniard, and he sends it forward. Wonderful pick out of Gabriel, who's stayed up there. Gabriel is Bukayo Saka from Ed to Timber, back to Gabriel once more. Timber again. Wonderful play from Saliba into Eze, as Arsenal's played around, making sure that Gabriel can get back in position and come forward here. With Saliba into Eze, who is forward over the top with too much on that for either Rice or Gyökeres can get behind, and he remains Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0 here in the Premier League. If you're just joining us this afternoon, or the morning or evening, depending where you are across the world, a goal from William Saliba there this afternoon. As we're covering Chelsea today, I might as well tell you that the next game on the channel will involve Chelsea again. They take on Aston Villa on Wednesday evening. 7:30 the kick-off for that one on air. It's 7:25 for that one. We'll have updates on the other Premier League matches going off on Wednesday evenings. There's a midweek fixture list in the Premier League. And we'll tell you about the results from Tuesday night as well. But stay with us for the next game coming up from Villa Park. Aston Villa against Chelsea is the game for that one. You don't want to miss it. Here is the ball forward for Cole Palmer. Good wiggle room there from Palmer to get away from his man. As Fernandes comes forward, Palmer can't get there. Cleared away by Arsenal. Santos picks up the possession. Into Fernandes, onto Ato now. Back to Fernandes, who seems to be controlling the play for Chelsea when they've got spells. Pedro loses out. Here's Gyökeres all the way back inside his own half and wins a free kick for a foul by Moises Caicedo. It remains Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0 in the Premier League. As you can see there, Liam was senior 6 games, 4 wins, 2 draws. Yet to taste defeat in the Premier League at Chelsea. 14 goals scored, 7 conceded. This is prior to this afternoon's game, so that's now 8 goals conceded in the Premier League under Liam Rossini. As Jurrien Timber just fastens his shoes there. Bit of time wasting going on here from Jurrien Timber with Arsenal leading, as we see Mikel Arteta there. Won 10 of the previous 16 games against Chelsea. Here's Saka. Good control from Saka to Timber. Ball go back to the penalty for Eze. And now, good ball forward for Chelsea. As Pedro Neto can't get there. That would have been a good ball. He almost slipped down there, Pedro Neto. Play taken quickly by Arsenal. And the game is now continuing. Here's Nkapie. Good ball out wide for Leandro Trossard as he went down. Trossard gets it back forward. And wonderful ball into Nkapie across the penalty area. No one in a red shirt can get there. Trossard moves out to Reece James in the air. And Reece James is not one of the tallest. As Pedro comes away with possession, but the referee is blowing the whistle for a foul by Cole Palmer there, and it remains 1-0 to Chelsea, 1-0 to Arsenal. And we've really got to say that this game has been absolutely fantastic this afternoon. Good bit of play from Arsenal through Bukayo Saka, cutting towards the penalty area. And he still going to lays off the Declan Rice, who curls it eye wide. And also has him into the stands behind the goal away to my left hand side. Good game this so far as we watch here in the Premier League. 28.5 minutes almost gone in the game of the Emirates, where Arsenal lead by a goal to 0 thanks to William Saliba. Diverting a headed back across goal from Gabriel from the corner into the back of the net. There's a man down there for Chelsea. The referee says there's a 50-50 chance between him and Jurrien Timber. Ball drops back now to Saliba, the goal scorer, to Gabriel, who got the assist and in the back across goal for Saliba to score. Saliba once more into Gabriel as Gabriel looked to come forward around the corner now. Arsenal just slipped down the virtual moment was Declan Rice. Gyökeres tried to play it over the top for him. Ato now brings the ball forward for Chelsea. Back he goes to Fernandes and loses out to Mendy. And now Jurrien Timber. Timber's told to get it forward. We can't because that avenue was shut off. Because that reopened again for Bukayo Saka to go on. And Mamadou Sarr infield to Eze. Back to Saka. Almost found Trossard with the return ball, but the whistle has got foul. And a free kick to Chelsea. Just there as it remains 1-0 to the Arsenal's. Another chance to score in this stadium. Wonderful bit of play today as Arsenal just enjoying a bit of more possession inside the Chelsea half in the last few minutes. The ball is out of play for a throw-in to Arsenal. I find from Mikel Arteta for Nkapia as he comes across to the throw-in. And we've seen barking out some instructions to his Chelsea players. Here is Declan Rice. Gabriel now back to Declan Rice. The infield goes to Zubimendi. Backwards it goes to Gabriel once more. Further back now to David Raya. Good bit of movement. And so Pedro almost closed down David Raya. And he goes out of play for a throw to Chelsea. Just looking at this again. That was a poor back pass from Zubimendi, put him under pressure. And for me, that could have been a foul on David Raya after he cleared the ball away. Nothing given though. It shows some possession halfway with Trevor Chalobah out wide to this right hand side. And Reece James back, it goes to Chalobah. And further back to Sarr. And now back to Sanchez. So as it again. Into Reece James, who turns away well of Leandro Trossard, who's watching him closely. Cole Palmer trying to get away, but that's good interception from Arsenal. The ball played forward by Gabriel. Now Gyökeres. Good ball in through looking for Eze, giving away though. Now Chelsea can come forward. Reece James across the centre circle for Yarel Atto, who charges into space. The space has been closed down by Bukayo Saka. He goes wide to João Pedro. Back he goes to Enzo Fernandez. Santos. Good bit of movement into James. Good bit of play there into Pedro. Gives the ball away this time. Now Arsenal can come forward. Wonderful bit of play for Leandro Trossard. Still going Trossard. He's got Gyökeres outside of him. Trossard edges the penalty. Infield to Eze. But we should have gone out wide to the left. For Gyökeres, who could have played the ball across goal. It would have probably been a better move for Arsenal in that instance there. Is Neto. Arteta encouraging his players to push high up and squeeze Chelsea back towards their own goal. And remains 1-0 to Arsenal in the Premier League this afternoon. And we've already seen the home sides winning the 2 o'clock kickoffs, all by the same scoreline as well. Victories for Brighton, Fulham, and Manchester United by 2-1 in the Premier League earlier today against Nottingham Forest, Spurs, and Crystal Palace, respectively. Crystal Palace with a man sent off in their earlier game this afternoon. Here is Rob Sanchez, who can take control of possession for Chelsea. There was a stoppage in place. Cole Palmer is down on the field. You can see the Premier League scores going across the bottom of your screen there. We'll go through the full scores at the end of proceedings. And there's a man down here now, and we're just looking at this one here to see why, if Cole Palmer can continue, and how well it will be. If he can continue, as we see it here, Rob Sanchez and Cole Palmer went down off the ball. The ball was back with Rob Sanchez, and Cole Palmer just stood in the centre circle and went down, and that's no good news for Chelsea or for England. Internationals coming up later this month. Alejandro Garnacho being warmed up on the sidelines as Chelsea players take drinks on board. As we just see the William Saliba goal again on 21 minutes. Gabriel with the back across goal from Declan Rice's corner. And it on towards goal, and he was flicked in off of the chest of the arm of Mamadou Sarr. And now that goal being down the other end and come off Mamadou Sarr's arm and went into the back of the net, it would have been disallowed for handball, even if it was accidental. But this game has seen Arsenal take the lead against Chelsea in the Premier League, and you've got to say that Cole Palmer just wonderful on the sidelines. Chelsea have been poor in this game. Cole Palmer's not really going to the game in an attacking phase on a running at Arsenal much in this game. Saka on the wing there for Arsenal, just keeping all of possession, and finds Declan Rice via Zubimendi. Now here is Gabriel just over halfway to Trossard. He can't get back to Gabriel. Palmer nips in, and now João Pedro is trudging forward into the formation called Palmer. Pedro gets it back again. Good play from Chelsea this. As they look for a response to going behind on 21 minutes. He's back now with Trevor Chalobah inside the centre circle towards this right side, and Reece James further wide for Pedro Neto. Neto down the line he goes. Takes the penalty area. Infield to Cole Palmer. Spun away as he fouled there. The referee says no as he limps away. He's a little appear to have been stood on the foot there. Accidental according to the referee. Palmer nips back in, his ball is cleared away, and Victor Gyökeres is after this, and he's gone there ahead of Trevor Chalobah. Gyökeres is had the penalty area now. Got to hold up the play, no one in support for him just as yet. They go alone here. Victor Gyökeres refers across to Saka via Eze. Now Timber inside. Timber! Poor finish. Poor effort from Timber there in the end. After initially working well there, Victor Gyökeres was brilliantly a wonderful bit of control. He had to go alone as Eze didn't get there very, very quickly. He did there eventually. The first question from Chalobah too. As then it comes to Timber from Saka. And he didn't get a clean connection on the ball there. The Arsenal right back. It remains Arsenal 1. Chelsea 0 in the Premier League. It is Pedro Neto. A little bit of play from Neto. James infield to Palmer. Pedro again back to James. A bit of play for Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez once more. Turns away from his man. And goes back here. He's Sarr to Chalobah. And Chelsea's knocking around well. Here's Sarr again. In fact, it was Caicedo there that time. Chalobah back to Neto. And now here comes Nkapie for a wonderful run from Nkapie. Still got possession. And he's still looking for the ball here. Here's Leandro Trossard. Back to Nkapie. Look, ball in is blocked. Nkapie there again. He goes behind. It will be a corner kick to Arsenal. And Piero Nkapie is absolutely fantastic there. It remains 1-0 to the Gunners. Or 1-0 to the Arsenal, as the Arsenal fans normally like to shout. It will be a corner kick for Arsenal, and that is nowhere near touching the quadrant or even hanging over it. How is this a legitimate corner? Not even touching the quadrant. Cleared away by Chelsea from that Declan Rice corner. And that was very, very poor from Declan Rice there. We thought of a player of his calibre would know how to take a legitimate corner. And now Arsenal are time wasting here as Piero Nkapie was in the middle there, had to come running across to take this throw in. He was in the middle of the Arsenal, in the middle of the penalty area, just the penalty area. And then he walked down the line a couple of times there before taking that throw in. As well. Free kick to Chelsea. And then Nkapie giving the ball away. Moses Caicedo, clear two-hander push in the bad there. That should be a yellow card for Moses Caicedo. He's having a word with Nkapie there. them to no more go away. But for me and Capier, the ball stopped for a foul, and he just went to keep ball away. Then Caicedo just went up to him and just pushed him to make him keep ball further away and get it. Bucky trying to go and bug there and Capier, which was not a yellow card. It would not be a yellow card there. So he didn't really kill the ball away. Just put the ball, left the ball where it was, and then Caicedo pushed him away. Ball is towards Piero and Capier, who clears the ball downfield. He's been on a play for Chelsea throwing, which Reece James takes quickly into the formation. Moses Caicedo is almost robbed of possession by Declan Rice. Caicedo does well to keep all of possession and drops it back here to Rob Sanchez. Good game so far here in the Premier League. Here they come again. We've got some comments from Paul as well. That looked like an handball by Moses Caicedo there, waited by the referee there. And the referee said no. Don't even said no, and he said it was so far down he couldn't do much about it. How was that not a handball there by Moses Caicedo? We're just looking at this again. Handball. He's almost caught that. My word. Where do we get these officials from? My oh my. Where do we get the officials from? Even VAR, John Brooks didn't even look at that. Time of last shot, guys. Let's just lay this into down. Also 37 minutes. Chelsea's last shot was the 10th minute. That shows what a job Arsenal have done on this Chelsea side. Here is Julian Timber. Martin Zubimendi, back he goes to Gabriel. Now Saliba. Ball sent forward. Headed forward there as well as the ball bounced down, cleared away. Caicedo gets the ball forward to Enzo Fernandez, who sets off Cole Palmer way down the left hand side against William Saliba, attacking the penalty area. Good bit of movement here. Wonderful interception from Bukayo Saka, and he gets the ball away looking for Victor Gyökeres, who's just got the beat of Trevor Chalobah there. He's all on his own. Gyökeres, wonderful bit of play from Chalobah. Then Gyökeres goes down, no penalty given. And then Chalobah goes into the face of Gyökeres there. Another sportsmanship right there from Chalobah. Now here's Enzo Fernandez. Good ball into Ato down the line into Pedro Neto. Neto will cross blocked behind for a corner kick to Chelsea. Mikey's on as well. Good evening to you, my friend. He says, I'm not liking the fact we are giving the Chelsea, keep giving Chelsea a lot of time on the ball. Paul's reply saying, we're defending very well though. His Mike's reply saying, we've picked up a bit now, but still a worry with their creative players. Yeah, you've got to say that as well. And for me, I've just seen that challenge again from Chalobah and Gyökeres. That could have been a penalty. For me, anywhere else on the field, that is a foul. Chelsea have a corner now here. What will Chelsea do from this set piece? Will they get a corner? He's in towards the penalty area. Flicked on, almost in and just tipped over by David Raya. Mamadou Sarr was in there and almost scored. David Raya stays down. Bit of play action here from David Raya, if I'm honest. There's almost enough in that for him to stay down. He's not blocking off from getting to the ball. He's not impeding in any way. He can still wear the save. And he stays down, wasting time here, David Raya. And I'm just looking at it. Mike says he comes off taking Rice's hand. He does. That should be a penalty to Chelsea. He comes off his arm. That's a penalty kick. You can't tell me that his arm is in a natural position there from Declan Rice. For me, that was on VAR. I would have recommended Down England to look at the monitor for that one there. Another corner kick then for Chelsea. Oh, Darren England told him to wait again, to wait this time. Reece James is calling some players over here. He's calling Mamadou Sarr over. And Martin Zubimendi over as well. As we enter 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this one in this first period. 3 minutes added on here. Yeah, Jokovic, for me, Paul, Jokovic could have had a penalty. But that, I don't think the Jokovic one was a clear pull one where Declan Rice's one was, in my opinion, as we enter 3 minutes of added time. We've already had a minute of those there. Chelsea have scored! Reece James has scored it down there, the corner. And Chelsea back level just before half time. In Capier. Not happy with that, but Chelsea have levelled just before half time. What is Arsenal doing here? Does it come off Nkapie here? Let's have a look at this. Yes, Nkapie gets the flick on. It's an own goal for Piero Nkapie. Piero Nkapie directs it into his own net. Look at this. Let's flick it on. Piero Nkapie, look at the flick it on and get it away. But Piero Nkapie puts it into the back of his own net. My oh my. Arsenal have just let Chelsea back in this. Chelsea didn't really create much in that first half. Or should I say in this first half. But Arsenal ran them back into it in first half stoppage time. And it's stuff like this, for me, like Arsenal may not win the Premier League. Allowing teams back into games when they've not really created anything of note in matches. Declan Rice will now take a long throw for Arsenal into the penalty area. Akil Howson is just telling him where to take it from. He's almost stole a few yards there, Declan Rice. Declan Rice just assessing his options. Ball into the penalty area from Declan Rice's long throw. And not only kept in play, it's just cleared away by Chelsea on the bar line. We've had the 3 minutes of stoppage time, but we'll be having a bit more on for that Chelsea equaliser. Gabriel heads in towards the penalty area, headed away by Chelsea there. Reece James, he was clearing it away. Eze now out wide to Declan Rice. Rice leaves the ball into the penalty area over there to Gyökeres. The menu was in there. There's Trossard winning it back momentarily. I built in there by Leandro Trossard. And a free kick to Chelsea. Now for me, the Arsenal one, I think the header from Saliba is going into the back of the net. I don't think Arsenal's goal will be given as a no-goal because Saliba's header is on target. It's going into the far corner. Ball is forwarded towards João Pedro. Good header won by Pedro. It's brought down towards Neto, but the foul's being given. Well, there is the half-time whistle at the end of the first half. The half-time, we did 1 minute extra over the 3 minutes which was added on at the end of this first period. The half-time in the Premier League. It is Arsenal 1, Chelsea 1 goals in the first, both coming in the first half in this game. William Saliba on 21 minutes. Pierre Capier both with his own net on the stroke of half time as well. We're at half time in the game at the Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal 1, Chelsea 1. Let's take a look then, before we go for a quick break, at the scores from the Premier League and the EFL this weekend. Starting with the Premier League. Friday night, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Aston Villa 0. Saturday afternoon, FC Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1. Burnley 3, Brentford 4, Liverpool 5, West Ham United 2, Newcastle United 2, Everton 3, Leeds United 0, Manchester City 1. Sunday afternoon, as I mentioned earlier, all 2 o'clock kickoffs finished 2-1 to the home side, 2-1 for Brighton against Nottingham Forest, Fulham 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1, and Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 1. Half time in our game here is Arsenal 1, Chelsea 1. Let's take a look at the EFL Championship. On Friday night, Bristol City 1, Watford 2, Derby County 3, Blackburn Rovers 1, Leicester City 0, Norwich City 2, Portsmouth 0, Hull City 1, Chelsea Athletic 0, Wrexham 1, Coventry 2, Stoke City 1, Ipswich 3, Swansea City 0, Oxford United 2, West Bromwich Albion 1, Preston North End 0, Millwall 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sheffield United 2, already relegated Sheffield Wednesday 1, Southampton 3, and Monday Night Football sees Birmingham take on Middlesbrough. In the EFL League 1, all games were played yesterday. Leyton Orient 1, Barnsley 3, Northampton Town 1, Peterborough United 1, Doncaster Rovers 0, Cardiff City 4, Exeter City 1, Bolton Wanderers 5, Lincoln City 4, Blackpool 0, Mansfield Town 2, AFC Wimbledon 2, Port Vale 1, Luton Town 1, Reading 2, Bradford City 1, Rotherham United 1, Plymouth Argyle 0. Big win for the Millers there at home to Plymouth Argyle. I'm sure who's in charge of Rotherham United against Tom Cleverley's Plymouth Argyle. Stevenage 2, Stockport County 1, Wigan Athletic 1, Huddersfield Town 0, and Wycombe Wanderers 3, Burton Albion 0. Into League 2. Friday night, Harrogate Town 1, Cheltenham Town 1. Saturday afternoon saw Cambridge United 1, Milton Keynes Dons 1, Shrewsbury Town 1, Walsall 2, Swindon Town 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Barnet 1, Chesterfield 0, Barrow 1, Gillingham 1, Barrow 0, Gillingham 1 should I say there, Bromley 2, Accrington Stanley 1, Colchester 0, Salford City 1, Alexandra 2, Tranmere Rovers 1, Fleetwood Town 0, Newport County 0, Notts County 0, Grimsby Town 1, and Oldham Athletic 0, Crawley Town. Oldham Athletic 2, Crawley Town 0, should I say there, for the last one in League 2. So it's half time then in the Premier League in our feature match this afternoon. 1-1 between Arsenal and Chelsea, as you can see there. One possession for Chelsea, more shots for Arsenal, and also had 2 shots on target, Chelsea's 0. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be back shortly for the start of the second half. Welcome back to the commentators' coverage of Arsenal against Chelsea. We're still at half time in the game of the Emirates Stadium, which is Arsenal 1, Chelsea 1. I am joined by co-owner and commentator, presenter, co-commentator and reporter on the channel, Mike Orneman, as well. And Mike, very good evening to you, my friend. How are you doing today?
Yeah, evening, Russ. Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
All good, mate. Thank you. Mate, just give us your overall assessments on that first half between Arsenal and Chelsea. Review being from an Arsenal perspective, because for me as a neutral, I think it's been a good game, but Arsenal just towards the end of the half allowed Chelsea back into it.
Yeah, it's been quite frustrating to watch that, to be honest. I feel that we've given Chelsea too much time on the ball. You know, obviously they've got a lot of quality there with the likes of Palmer and Pedro, etc., in their ranks, and they will punish us. And you know, as you see by the possession stats that are on the screen as well, Chelsea have got the large majority there of the possession, and not many teams will come to the Emirates and dominate possession in that way. And I just feel that there was always something for Chelsea in that first half with the players that they've got. You know, obviously we went in front through the Saliba goal, which is a great ball in. Good bit of work from Gabriel at the back post there. You know, get above his man and then head it across to a centre-back partner who just nods it in with the help of the Chelsea defender. And then from then on in, we were looking okay. We weren't really being threatened too much by Chelsea. We, you know, looked like we were pretty comfortable. And then the set piece kind of just undoes us, really. It's a good delivery in from Reece James, who puts it into that area where anything can happen. And then it's Piero Hincapié that is unfortunately not past his own keeper. But, you know, you can't really put too much blame on him. I know, obviously, he's trying to get the ball away and those sort of things happen. There are Chelsea players in there will probably put the ball to the back of the net anyway. So I think it was Pedro maybe at the back post. I can't really remember. But he'd have had an easy tap in anyway and would have probably still scored. So it's a bit frustrating. Obviously, with Man City winning that game yesterday at Leeds as well. We need to, win this game again today, especially because the next games we've got Brighton away, which won't be easy, and Man City host Nottingham Forest, and you'd probably fancy them to win that game as well.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. Just want to ask you, just before the Chelsea goal, there was a ball into the penalty where Declan Rice was on to his man, but also his arm come up, the ball struck his arm. Some penalty matches, you see them given. Were you surprised the penalty wasn't given there in another corner? Was Mike in that situation?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised. I feel that Declan Rice is very fortunate there. You know, there's two incidences in one, really, where he's all over the Chelsea man. Obviously, it comes off his arm as well. So there are two kind of chances there for Chelsea to get a penalty. And the referee obviously looked at it and didn't go to VAR, so you obviously didn't really see a lot in that. It's a good save from David Raya. But, yeah, I think Declan Rice is fortunate. And I think actually when you look at the goal, he's kind of maybe a little bit at fault for the goal as well, because he's in a little bit of a battle still with the Chelsea man, and he's kind of a bit more focused on, he's kind of arguing with the Chelsea attacker, really, rather than actually doing his job defensively. So maybe he's a little bit at fault for the goal as well, because he's kind of caught up in that moment still with the Chelsea player, and I think he's just kind of his head might have gone a little bit after the previous incident where maybe he felt he got a little bit lucky.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Well, credit to Chelsea though, Mike. As you said, there one more possession, but credit to Chelsea. They went 1-0 down, and sometimes teams come to the Emirates, and I know Leeds did it early on in the season. They concede an early goal, or early-ish goal, as it was in the 20th minute. This one against Chelsea, whereas against Leeds I think it was earlier down at the Emirates in the second game of the season. And other teams have considered early on against the Emirates. Credit to Chelsea, they've stuck at it and got themselves back into the game. They weren't playing bad prior to the Arsenal goal, but they've stuck at it, got back into the game. And for me, deservedly back on level terms, Chelsea in that at half time.
Yeah, I feel that Chelsea will be very, very happy with that first half performance, really, overall. They are causing us a few issues, and if they can get the likes of Cole Palmer on the ball, they've got a lot of quality there and players that can do a job in terms of causing more switched on and try and see what we can do down the other end. I think that we've had a couple of players up front who've had quiet games. I think Gyökeres, he's working hard, but he's not really had a lot of joy yet. There was the one where he probably should have had a penalty for me, which was just before the other one with Declan Rice. So I think it kind of evens it out in that instance where both teams could have had a penalty really. And then obviously there's the one where Rob Sanchez almost gifts him the ball as well. And Sanchez got a bit fortunate in the first 20-25 minutes with some of the balls that he made and some of the sort of time he was taking on the ball really as well. He kind of got a bit lucky on a few occasions there. But I think he's going into the game a bit more with Rob Sanchez now, and I think he had a bit of a rollicking from one of his centre backs as well after about the third or fourth time of doing that. I think he's kind of calmed down a bit now. And then I think we need to get Eze on the ball more. We need to get Trossard on the ball more. Saka's been a threat down the right, but without really any joy yet. So we need to get him involved a bit more as well. And then that's where the game could potentially be won in Arsenal's favour.
Yes, thank you very much, I will be back with you. At the end of the game, as the players are back out for the start of the second half of the Arsenal team in the huddle. And from what I can see there, no changes to the Arsenal side at the end of time. Looks like the same for Chelsea as well, from what I can gather as well. So the second half will be about to get underway any second now. Cole Palmer sending over the ball as Chelsea to now be attacking the goal away. All going to be attacking the goal away to my left-hand side. And we're now back underway for the start of the second half as Cole Palmer drops it all the way back to Rob Sanchez. So the two teams that you see on your screen there are the ones for the start of the second half. But I will run you through them right now fairly quickly. Start off with Arsenal, it's David Raya, Yuri Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel and Piero Hincapié. Eze, Zubamendi, Rice has also come forward with Trossard down the left-hand side. Good piece of defending by Chelsea just to get the ball away with Reece James there. There's Saka on the right-hand side with Victor Gyökeres in the striker position. Arsenal are playing 4-3-3 compared to a 4-2-3-1 from what I've just said there. For Chelsea side, we'll give you their side right now. Is Rob Sanchez in goal. James, Sarr, Chalobah, Ato, Caicedo and Santos, Neto, Fernandez, Palmer and João Pedro. And I did mention at the start of the game when I read out the chest in the three behind Pedro can be very fluid at times. At one point you will see Pedro, one moment you see Pedro Neto in the 10, Palmer on the right and Fernandez on the left. One time you'll see Fernandez in the 10, Palmer on the right, Palmer on the left, Neto on the right, or you'll see Palmer on the left moving to the 10 and Fernandez move out to the left hand side. And that is a fluid three from focus. At times you'll see Pedro drop back, Neto go beyond him, Palmer go beyond him, or Fernandez go beyond him as well in the game. Referee, just to remind you, is down in England from Doncaster in South Yorkshire. We have got Scott Ledger and Akil House on the sides with Stuart Alwell for official VAR. And we would have looked at that Declan Rice incident and the challenge of Victor Gyökeres as well. Is John Brooks with Dan Rutherford there as well as we watch this game unfold. The ball bounces out of play for the throw-in to Arsenal, which Gabriel has collected from Piero Hincapié. Here is the ball forward into Eze by Leandro Trossard. Eze goes down on the challenge of Moises Caicedo, free kick given. Caicedo just moves away from Eze, and Eze jumps over the ball to do a fake free kick there. He now leaves it for Saliba, who leaves it for Martin Zubamendi. If Arsenal aren't careful, they could get a booking for that, for time wasting. And the ball forward from Zubamendi is poor in the end and bounces out for a goal kick to Chelsea at the start of the second half. You can see a worried look there on the face of Mikel Arteta. And Paul says, shut well out of the way where he can't cause any havoc. I think Paul is a big fan of Stuart Alwell from what I said about him in previous weeks in the tours off air. But for me, and I know Paul will agree with this one, I don't think he's a good referee, and in my opinion, I don't think we've got any good referees in the UK. I don't think we've had any since Howard Webb probably stepped down, in my opinion. I believe he was the last one in the UK, was a really competent referee. We haven't got anybody since his days, in my opinion, as Declan Rice stands over this set piece for Arsenal. Victor Yoker's being talked to by Gabriel there, and he just passes on some instructions there towards the fellow Arsenal players up there. Is Bukayo Saka. Saka drops it infield to Eze. Through the gap there, almost picked out Saka. That was a nearly worked free kick. Now infield there to Saliba. Back to Eze again. Into the gap for Bukayo Saka, who turns away from Yolato, who's grabbing hold of him. Saka keeps hold of position. Driven in. Pushed away. Comes back out. Ball back in the penalty. Claimed there again. And Timber was in there and he stayed down, Jurrien Timber. Holding his back. Here, let's look at this again. And for me, here, no one was off. I think Chelsea were looking for an offside flag to go up there, but no one was offside there as Timber came in. And Timber just landed awkwardly as he jumped over Rob Sanchez there. In the end, it remains 1-1 in the Premier League this afternoon. Paul says he misses Uriah Rennie as the referee. He was a good referee as well. Howard Webb was after him, though, in my opinion, as a shot comes in. Kalina as well, yes, he's another good referee, Mike. The Italian. So there's some other names of referees gone by in the past who probably referee games in English football better than we've got these days. And those are some good shouts for some good referees there as well. I forgot about those two, Paul and Mike. Cheers for bringing them up as well. Reece James, he's going to take a better corner. And at least he's just touching the quadrant and hanging over to my Declan Rice in the first half, as well as a corner. It was a penalty, almost catching out Arsenal again. Push back to Reece James behind for yet another. Going to Yao Pedro's down, clutching his face here. Kieran Cappy going to cross to him, try and get him up and whack him there to try and get him up there. Kieran Cappy knows what he's doing there. And David Raya punches him in the face there. He's punched the ball and then punched him in the face as well. For me, that's not a penalty because he gets the ball first. I wouldn't even say it's a foul, but he does catch him there, David Raya. Some officials would say it's a foul, but that's not for me there. I agree, Mike. Mike said Mike Tyson, the boxer, would be proud of that punch there from David Raya. And I agree with him there. Another one who'll probably be proud of it would be Tyson Fury as well, Mike. Here's Reece James. From another corner for Chelsea. Towards that near post again. It's flicked on. And almost in from Pedro there again. And David Raya now bought out quickly. The Trossard, but the free kick is being given for a foul on David Raya. But David Raya managed to get the ball out to get Arsenal on the attack, and Arsenal wasn't happy there. He was brought back there. It remains 1-1 in the Premier League. Gabriel gets it forward. Good ball around the corner now into the path there of Jurrien Timber. Cuts in through the way from Cole Palmer. Trossard back he goes towards Timber. Too much power. All my ball instead of more position. That's what was needed there. As we see this ball in again in Yao Pedro, wonderful header, which was comfortably saved on his goal line by David Wyatt there, and you've got to say that was a really good save there. And for me, Chelsea have started this second half the way they finished the first by having chances on the Arsenal goal from set pieces as well, and almost scored from a set piece too. Arsenal won, Chelsea won in the Premier League. As Arsenal about to make a substitution, and I'm surprised of doing it now, this early in the second half, compared to the half time instead of doing it at 10 or so minutes into the second period. Gabriel Martinelli will come on. Here's in Victor has had a penalty and a twisting, turning, keeping on the possession. Mendy across. Trossard is there, can't get a strike away. Trossard goes down. No penalty given as he manages to get back onto his feet up towards Yao Pedro. Goes down on the challenge of Saliba. Was given away a free kick there, William Saliba. And a free kick to Chelsea. Midway inside the Arsenal half of the field. Trossard there. Really should be getting his strike off a lot earlier if he can do, and he's happy there, and the play will be stopped here as Gabriel Martinelli will about to come on now for Arsenal for Leandro Trossard, and I'm surprised Arsenal have wasted one of their 3 opportunities to make substitutions. As Trossard is off and replaced by Gabriel Martinelli in the end there. As you can see, already updated on your screen there, on the left hand side of your screen there, just underneath where it says subscribe. You can see the Arsenal lineup there, the sub already confirmed on there. Chelsea lineup is still the same. As you can see the goal scorers on the screen there as well. It remains Arsenal 1, Chelsea 1 is Ato in field. It goes to Caicedo. Now Pedro turns away from his man. Spreads the wide to Ryan inside and Pedro Neto. Neto can charge forward, attacking Piero and Chiappie. It was a penalty area, back in goes to Reece James. It's a penalty, almost! In there was a Chelsea header. Yo, Pedro was in there. So to Enzo Fernandez and Yao Lato. He almost found the head of Yao Lato after Yao Pedro missed it. He just glanced it on. Lato couldn't get there. Neither could Cole Palmer. And if any of them got on into it, it would have been 2-1 to Chelsea here at the Emirates, which would not be good news for Arsenal fans. But what a game this has been. Good ball forward. Yao Pedro. Reece James into Moses Caicedo now. Andre Santos inside the centre circle as he looks to come forward. Cole Palmer dropping deep to collect possession. He's not had much joy in around the Arsenal penalty area. Chelsea with more shots in the second half and more shots on target in the second half than Arsenal so far. 1-1 is the scoreline if you're just joining us. 57 minutes on the clock in the Premier League. Sanchez clears it away downfield. He breaks there for Declan Rice. Checks it down now by Trevor Chalobah into Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez out wide. Pedro Neto. Infield to Yao Pedro. Pedro turns away. Running towards the Arsenal penalty area. Out wide to Yao Lato inside the Arsenal penalty area. Shot on his cross is blocked by Yuri and Timber. And he's behind for the corner kick to Chelsea, and this is where Reece James will go across to take. Sarr, Chalobah, also to Neto, Pedro, all in there. So to Fernandez, and Chelsea will take another corner kick here. Will Chelsea punish Arsenal again from another set piece? Over to the penalty. Very rare claims it. And he bowls it out, but Arsenal have got a free kick in, and Arsenal want to advantage we played again. And a yellow card is coming out here. And a yellow card has been issued. I think it's to Cole Palmer. Let's just double check. Yeah, Cole Palmer pulls down Bukayo Saka as he tried to run away. And you can see he's grabbed inside penalty, hold him down there, and the referee blew his whistle just before he rolled it out. Timberwood would have, had the play that's been continued, Timberwood's away down there. That's his 4th yellow card of the season for Cole Palmer as well. Arteta having a word with the official Stuart Howell about those incidents. Not being allowed to play, be played on an end ball back half if need, and then book him afterwards. Here's Fernandez out wide, he goes to Neto. Wonderful run from Pedro Neto, charging down the far side. Cuts in field. Now Pedro twisting to the edge of the penalty. Now Pedro shoots his eye wide. And also has him away to my left hand side there. It remains 1-1. Mike Paul says, should I say, sorry. No surprise to see this change at all. Arsenal not playing well. And Trossard has been invisible. Yeah, Trossard has not really had one of his better games, in my opinion, today. So it was not a surprise for me either to see him being replaced there. Here's Bukayo Saka now, looking to come forward. So Paulo must be sure we mind there. Maxis Martinelli has a decent record of scoring against Chelsea too. He has indeed, Mike. Which probably why he turned to him off of the bench rather than the likes of Manny Madueke or Kai Havertz to play that role. But Chelsea have one possession back with Cole Palmer out of the field. In towards the penalty, Yao Pedro's in there. He wins a corner off a Declan Rice. And that's poor again from Arsenal. Just as they're trying to play it out from the back. What are Arsenal doing? If Arsenal lose this, it's going to be for their own, due to their own doings. Also, to they own the ball in and around the own penalty area, have been absolutely poor today. Reece James will come across and take this corner kick again. Well, Arsenal will be punished again in one of their specialities of a set-piece goal to put Chelsea in front in this game. The set piece is whipped into the near post, flicked on, flicked away again, behind for a goal kick this time. But you've got to say, for me, this has been so poor. As the ball is back now with Rob Sanchez, and he clears it long downfield. There's Julian Timber to Saliba. Look at Saliba do with possession as he will look to try and bring Arsenal forward into the game. He will control possession and look for options as he likes to maraud forward now with possession. There's no options opened up. You're in Timber. Now back into Saliba, who goes, like I said, he's on nothing to the centre circle there for Gabriel. Just over halfway now. And he gets it out wide to Declan Rice. Rice charges forward. Back he goes there to Piero Incapie. Gabriel Martinelli. The ball out wide to Declan Rice again, who is forced backwards to Gabriel just on the halfway line. Over halfway now is Gabriel, and he is the ball down the channel into Victor Gyökeres up against Reece James. Gyökeres gets the wrong side of James, but then pulls James down, and a free kick to Chelsea there. Paul and Mike, has been in touch. Here he says, Mike has said, we're giving Chelsea too many corners for my liking too. This is where we'll get punished again. Paul says it'll be out of our hands if we lose this now. Mike says it's out of our hands if we draw. We need to find a winner. And Paul says we don't have slightly better goal difference. Mike says only by 3 goals, which is the case. And with games coming up, City, for me, in the games coming up between now and the end of the season, I've got a better running than Arsenal. So Arsenal really need to get a winner here today, because if this is a draw, I can see City potentially going on to win it. The Premier League title, that is. Ball cleared up by Rob Sanchez as Arsenal tried to get another goal. This Jurgen Timber's out down there by Yoro, and that could be a yellow card for the young Chelsea left back. Yoro does pick up a yellow card, and he's punished there. Quite literally punished. Clear foul. No attempt to play the ball. The ball had clearly got, and he just takes him out there, and that is a clear foul and a clear booking, and one of the best bookings you'll ever see all season, as that is the 4th yellow card for Yoro for Chelsea today. Here is a set piece for Arsenal, which Declan Rice will look to take here. Forward into the penalty area, punched away by Rob Sanchez behind for Arsenal corner. Now can Arsenal do what they do best and score from a set piece? That's a wonderful ball and a brilliant punch, with the ball went the wrong way from the Chelsea perspectives like him. But the right way for Arsenal. Mike said City have experienced this over the line. They weren't good yesterday or last week, but found a way to win those games. Whereas Arsenal have been in similar situations and drawn, and that is the case, Mike. You've seen it for a number of seasons now. Arsenal always seem to bottle it from a good position. And could it happen again this season? Ball into the penalty area. Edwin Timber! It's 2-1 Arsenal! I just mentioned about Arsenal scoring from set pieces again. And Jurgen Timber has scored. From a set piece again. Mike shouted Timber. It's going down. They're yelling Timber. Chelsea want to foul him there. For a foul on Rob Sanchez. Liam C saying, are you checking that? They think there's a push in there. Let's have a look at this here and see if a decision is to be made by VAR. I'm not sure if there's any decision need to be made by VAR. Let's look at this. Where? Where's a foul? Where is there a foul in there? That is, for me, that is not a foul, and that goal there should count. If VAR disallow this goal, this is a joke. Rob Sanchez is getting nowhere near, and I mean nowhere near that ball as that ball came into the penalty area then. For me, if this is disallowed, it will be a joke. VAR, I believe, are checking the goal. I can tell you, the goal has been given, and we're now back underway. That goal does stand, and the correct call has been made there. Saliba just clears it to his. Del Pedro almost came back into it for Chelsea's. Radio jingles and gaming went on. Yes, that's a great goal. He says he doesn't see a foul either. He says he should be given. That's the goal, Russ. It is. And he just said, great. I've just said the goal has been given. So the goal was given there. And Jurgen Timber finds the back of the net and finds Arsenal a goal in the game to pull them back into the lead. A free kick to Arsenal. And it was a set piece again, ole. And the Arsenal fans singing around us as they lead now by 2-1. Here's Bukayo Saka. Bowling towards a penalty towards your second goal scorer, Jurrien Timber. And he's cleared away now. It's Pedro Neto trying to get away up against Declan Rice. But Declan Rice really wins the ball first, but then gives away a cheap corner. That corner should not be given there. Why is he playing it back with that so much pace, so much power on that ball? Just a simple pass back there for Rice that was needed. That was a silly corner to give away there by Declan Rice. And if Chelsea score from this, it's all down to Declan Rice's mismanagement. Walking will happen from this corner. He's in towards the penalty, headed away the near post. And now Gabriel Martinelli is away for Arsenal against Pedro Neto. Does well in Gabriel Martinelli, skips away from him, and he's still managed to get away. The referee brought this back and booked him. He could have waited to book him. Martinelli managed to. He's his second yellow and red for Pedro Neto. That's why Pedro Neto is off. Pedro Neto sees red. And Chelsea are down to 10 men. His first red card of the season. Let's look at this again. This is the yellow card effect. This is the yellow card offence tackle there. Well, Martinelli gets up and continues with the ball. But for me, Caicedo could have got away, could get to him. Palmer got back to get to him, so I wouldn't have given that as a second yellow. But Mike, that's not where's the advantage in that for me. That's what I'm saying, Mike. There's 3 times now this has happened where David Raya bowls it out, also on the run, brings it back for a foul. Second time he bowls it out again, Raya, and he brings it back for a foul on Saka. And then that one there, where's the advantage? Where's the first yellow? If referee wants to send players off, not for me, I think if referee wants to send players off, the advantage is not given. Now Lewis has to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to shape his Chelsea side now with Pedro Neto being sent off. Pedro Neto could be in a lot more trouble than just a 3-match, than a 1-match ban here, which will mean he'll miss the game against Aston Villa. It could be getting more as he refused to leave the field of play first of all. Then refused to go down the tunnel afterwards when he goes round to Stuart Howell and started to have a go at Stuart Howell there. Declan Rice will one of the set piece for Arsenal. But for me, play the advantage and then if you give him a second yellow, do it after this one. Here's the set piece for Arsenal. Take a quick look. Now Eze has it on the edge of the penalty. Delivers it in towards the penalty. In the back across goal. And a foul is being given for a push in the bag there. And a free kick to Chelsea. And very, very soon I'll be able to give my player matches. We see Malo Gusto about to come on. I've no idea about that, Mike. I'm going to do a bit of research for me on that one. Well, we can. There's Romeo Lavia and Malo Gusto getting ready to come on here for Chelsea. They will look to make a change here. What can they do with possession? Chalobah has the ball now. He looks to come forward. Cole Palmer. He gives the ball away. Cole Palmer. No, like, don't normally do that. Saka's in. Saka goes down. Referee says no penalty. Play on. Chelsea allowing Arsenal into there. With Chelsea now to 10 men. And the goal behind. This could really work in Arsenal's favour now. Wonderful bit of play this. He's sent forward. And it ended back into the arms there of David Raya, who bowls the ball out. Here comes Piero Incapié. Cleared away by Trevor Chalobah. Eventually, Caicedo out wide. Reece James is bad there, clears it upfield. Neto. As Gabriel slipped. João Pedro is brought down by Gabriel. And that's going to be a yellow card for Gabriel. Yes, a yellow card there. My own mouth then for a moment because at first I saw the red card come out of Darren England's pocket to be shown towards Gabriel, but only a yellow card has been given. That's his third yellow card of the season. And Chelsea made some changes now. Andre Santos is one player off. Malo Gusto and Yoel Atto is another one off as well there. So Atto's off for Gusto, Santos off for Lavia is the confirmed changes. Also making some changes as well is Kai Havertz and Christian Norgård are coming on. Declan Rice and Victor Gyökeres are the players coming off. Gyökeres for Havertz and Rice for Norgård are the changes there. In this game. You can see the Chelsea ones have just been updated. You'll get the Arsenal ones updated in a second. As I'll just remind you of those. Again, Victor Gyökeres and Declan Rice off. Kai Havertz and Christian Norgård are on. Rob Sanchez clears a long downfield. He's picked off well there. He's hit back forward, headed the back away. And again there, and he's brought down well. It'll be cleared away, yep. Also get the ball forward. And also with a man advantage, can they work it to their own favour? And the ball is behind the plate. And it will be a goal kick to Chelsea. Star takes it to Sanchez, who clears it away, and he gives the ball away. Braves towards Bukayo Saka, flicks up. Kai Havertz is almost in there. I think Kai Havertz would have been just onside as well. As we watch this game come towards its conclusion. Yeah, I thought that, Mike. I thought it looked like you were limping a little bit. With Declan Rice there. And do you reckon they'll probably give Gyökeres a rest for Wednesday night as well, Mike? Do you think that's why that game has been... why that change has been made? Here's João Pedro, will control it to Romeo Lavia. Good control from Romeo Lavia, who goes down, and I think it's a free kick to Chelsea. And Mike says that's probably one of the reasons why Gyökeres has been substituted there for a man who never chants about as well in Kai Havertz, sing about 60 million down the drain, and saying that he's scored again. In Kai Havertz. Here they come again now. Chelsea, Alped. The Jonathan will give the ball away this time. Look, the Jonathan João Pedro, should I say. Chelsea are down to 10 men if you're just joining us. It was Pedro Neto was being sent off of the field, as you can see there on the screen, for a second yellow card. As we watch here, as Chelsea have another player going into the referee's notebook. As we watch this here, and the man who's going to the notebook this time is Moises Caicedo. And is it Moises Caicedo who's going to the book, or Enzo Fernandez? No, it's actually Enzo Fernandez who's going into the book for kicking the ball away. That's his 7th booking of the season for Chelsea's Enzo Fernandez. Very soon I'll be giving my player of the match to Paul James, my producer for this afternoon's game. This big game in total. What a game this has been here today. It's Kai Havertz. Wonderful bit of play from Kai Havertz. Good ball around the corner. Here's Eze inside the penalty. Emirates Eze shot is saved well. No goal back across goal and wide. And he slipped there, but Richie Eze with another fantastic effort towards goal there. As Arsenal look to come forward. Wonderful effort from Eze there. Through the legs and a fantastic save. Just watch this Arsenal tackle, and I'll give my player of the match to Paul. As here comes Kai Havertz for Arsenal. Good play from Kai Havertz. He drops it back to William Saliba. Now he's back with Gabriel across. Now it's Piero Nkapie. Nkapie forward. And out to Martinelli. Back he goes this time to Gabriel into Saliba inside the centre circle. Midway inside, the Chelsea off of the field for Yuri and Timber. Back he goes to the centre circle and William Saliba. To the left hand side, and now here is in Capia. He goes to Martinelli. Martinelli takes on Reece James. It's a penalty area he goes. Boston cleared away well. Enzo Fernandez chasing after this. Can he keep the ball? He played. Does. Which was João Pedro's headed it back down. Arsenal just managed to keep the ball in play for Capia. And he's on side here now. Just keeps the ball in play up against the corner flag, up against Reece James. He gets him round the corner to Martinelli. Good play from Gabriel Martinelli. But he loses out there to Moises Caicedo, and Chelsea will try and come away with possession. And they're just taking the time to get away from here. Wonderful bit of player, Enzo Fernandez. Can he turn away for Chelsea? He does well. Puts the ball back for Reece James. Reece James gets the ball forward. Chested down well by João Pedro. Cleared away. Good bit of movement here in the end as Chelsea look to try and come forward, but Arsenal win the ball back. Now as we watch this game unfold, as we get ready to give you the player of the match to my producer in a moment or two's time. Been a wonderful afternoon here today in this Premier League encounter. And what a game we have witnessed today in this match. You can see the scores on your screen there. As I just give my player of the match over to my producer, Paul, this afternoon. Rob Sanchez plays the ball out there well. And now Enzo Fernandez gets it forward. With a good bit of play. Here's Eze, who's controlling well. Wonderful bit of play this afternoon. If you're just joining into us this afternoon, we really do appreciate it. I really appreciate your time and effort with us this afternoon. Reminder that our next time offering will come on Wednesday evening and will involve Chelsea again as their trip go to Aston Villa in Villa Park for a 7:30 kickoff as a foul being given there. And that's on Wednesday evening in the Premier League. Foul on Saka in this game here today as Chelsea back in action on Wednesday live here on the commentators against Aston Villa. Make sure you join us for that one. There's just a double change incoming for Chelsea. Any second now, as you see there on the side of the pitch, Liam Delap and Alejandro Garnacho about to come on. in this, probably after the set piece, I'd imagine, rather than before it. Gabriel will talk to Eze there as he sends over this set piece. Barks out some instructions, does Eberici Eze. Will Eze deliver this ball into that penalty area? No, he goes short to Bukayo Saka. On the left, on this right hand side. Does well to get away from Lavia. Into the penalty area he goes, chipped in. Bob Sanchez comes in, goes down for a corner. And did he go behind for a corner? The referee's giving a corner here. Yes, he has. Let's look at this end. Does this go behind? Ooh, can't really tell from that angle there. But the corner has been given to Arsenal. We'll give the play of the match very, very shortly here for our game today between Arsenal and Chelsea in the Premier League. Will Arsenal score yet another set piece goal this afternoon? Now they have done already for the other two goals they've got. Into the penalty area, goes back this time. Saka gets to the bar line, pulls the ball back. Ball went behind for a goal kick. We're going to keep it in play there, Bukayo Saka. And it remains Chelsea 2, Arsenal 1. As the subs are now being made, as we see Enzo Fernandez being replaced by Liam Delap in the first one for Chelsea. And the second one sees Cole Palmer replaced by Alejandro Garnacho as well in this Premier League game today. Interested to see what happens here as an Englishman comes off for an Argentine, and an Argentine comes on for an Englishman. For Chelsea there, as Chelsea look to get back into this game. And João Pedro's trying to get there. David Gray just does get there and just puts it out of play for a throw into Chelsea. Chelsea want to go with it quickly. We're going to leave it for Reece James to take. Instead, here's João Pedro. Good movement here in field. And João Pedro do well. Here's Romeo Lavia, who's come back into the side today after being out injured for quite a while. Back to the first team fold off for the bench, and he's not put through wrong out there for Chelsea. It's like he's never been away for the Blues this afternoon. Pedro around the corner for Moses Caicedo, just over the top of the crossbar and into the crowd behind that goal away to my left hand side. Really good play there. Yes, sorry, Mike. Also 2, Chelsea 1. Sorry to any Chelsea fans thinking that you were winning there. Contrary to what it says on the scoreboard. The scoreboard is correct. My vocals was not. Also 2, Chelsea 1 is now the correct scoreline of this game that I should have said previously. It remains 2-1 to the Gunners as they look to gun down yet another opponent in their race to win the Premier League title this season. As the Chelsea look to try and put an halt in their title charge. It is João Pedro. He's got Garnacho outside of him, but Pedro goes down there. Does he win a free kick? No. Timber sends it away. Reece James gets across there to Martinelli. And Reece James does well. And he's got possession into Moses Caicedo. Here's Romeo Lavia. Here is Malo Gusto. Now Gusto's going back. Why couldn't you go forward there? He should have gone forward instead of going backwards, but then better to go back to maintain possession. That's probably why I went back to maintain possession. Keep the ball moving, keep the ball recycling. As this time we've gone back to the goalkeeper, Rob Sanchez. Caicedo round the corner. Mamadou Sarr. And now Chelsea will look to coming forward here with possession. Mamadou Sarr again. Wonderful bit of play into Chalobah, the ball forward. And now Liam Delap almost tried to tear the shirt off Gabriel there, but the referee waves play on. Malo Gusto down the right hand side. He looks to deliver across into the penalty area. He's headed behind by Gabriel for a corner kick to Chelsea. Will Chelsea get another equaliser in this game, or will Arsenal hold on to a 2-1 lead? What can they do from this set piece? He's delivered towards the penalty, headed away. Moses Caicedo looks to get there first and does so. We can't get back to Risham. Now to play for a throw-in. 89 minutes gone. Here is still Chelsea trailing by 2-1 against Arsenal. Chelsea made yet another substitution as Mamadou Sarr is replaced by Tosin Adebayo, or just Tosin as he has on back of his shirt. Tosin Adebayo comes on to replace Mamadou Sarr, who has done really, really well today. Tosin on there in place of Mamadou Sarr for Chelsea. Next stoppage of play, we will give you the player of the match. It was a foul throw by Piero Incapié there, and not many of those get punished these days. Now is ball just thrown off the pitch as we enter 6 minutes at a time at the end of this game. 6 minutes at a time. 6 more minutes for Chelsea to find an equaliser and a point in this game. 6 more minutes for Arsenal to get another goal in this game to make sure of the 3 points in another London derby than they did last week against Tottenham. Here is Yao Pedro under the challenge of Zubimendi. Now Delap's away in behind Liam Delap on the side into the penalty. Liam Delap tries to get a cross in, makes back to Delap, goes for handball, nothing given. Then Capier goes down. Delap keeps on the possession, but a free kick has been given for a foul by Liam Delap on Piero Incapié. Was he offside here? Yes, I think Timber just keeps him on that angle there. And then there's this one here where he gets into the penalty area. That looks like he strikes his arm, but his arm's down by his side, and he's not given there. And I hope JB's not listening to that one, because they only had a goal chopped off with an arm, which was by his side yesterday. And Chelsea get penalised there for an handball. But even though his arm was down by his side there as well. But we'll say that wasn't given because he's a big 6 team in Chelsea, unlike little old Burnley, as he said on his rant video yesterday on JB Sports on our partner channels. Make sure you go and check out that rant video on there if you want to hear JB's views on Burnley against Brentford from yesterday. Here's Alejandro Garnacho now for Chelsea. He's able to get an equaliser again. It was a penalty! Oh, what a save from David Raya. That was heading in the back, into the bottom corner there. What a save from Alejandro Garnacho. From David Raya tonight, Alejandro Garnacho. Wow, what a save this is. Into the penalty, bounces it, sees it late, David Raya. Just take it quickly towards the back post. Too much on and behind for a goal kick. 2. Watching this again from Alejandro Garnacho, he bounces in. He almost bounces all the way through there. He almost scored there. Really celebrating. How is it nobody got a touch to that? What a save from David Raya. This is how late he sees it. He sees it there. And then bounces across the saving. What a save. We'll give you the player of the match right now then. And today's player of the match will be sponsored by Football Lab as always. And it will go to Arsenal's number 12. It's going down. It's Sheldon Timber. Union Timber is today's player of the match for Arsenal. 1 goal, 2 shots, 0.41 XG. Today's player of the match, sponsored by Football Live, to Arsenal's second goal scorer, Jurrien Timber. What a fantastic performance from him today. He's done a fantastic job defending as well, and he's got a goal to his name too. Here is Nkapie, who's got put through his own net. Is now the ball is being played back by Saliba to Gabriel, who sends it forward this time. Gabriel looking for Kai Havertz, but Malo Gusto there defending well and heads it back there. No problem, Paul. He's done well at right back as Jurrien Timber today. There were honourable mentions to Saliba and Gabriel. They played well at the back as well for Arsenal. But here comes Chelsea now. Reece James, long crossing to Lapson there. Push from ball against Gabriel, cleared away, nothing given. Push from ball against Chalobah, this time not given either. Reece James again. Now there's an edge of the penalty on the right hand side. Drops the ball back to Lavia into Gusto. Lavia again for Chelsea. Wonderful bit of play now. Ball into the penalty area. Pedro is in there. Yeah, Pedro, what a save from David Raya! And again, Delap is there. It's 2-2, but the offside flag is up. What a save from David Raya initially, but the offside flag is up by Akil Howson. Oh my word, what an effort. I think he's offside against João Pedro. Who flicked it on. Let's look at this again. Is he offside? Yes, he is. He's offside. There's a flick. He's on. But what a save there from David Raya. He'll have fought it home. Thinking he got an equaliser for Chelsea. Well, João Pedro's offside. And Liam was senior, thought he got a point there, but also got away with one there that was in an offside position. Because Chelsea have been pressing these last few minutes to get an equaliser, and they almost let them do that. Delap, is he being fouled there? The referee says no, play on. And he was at his arm. And for me, arms was round the neck of Delap there. There is Timber. And where is Timber going to take this throw-in? Liam Massini takes a drink there. Liam thought he'd rescue the point for Chelsea a few minutes ago. But Chelsea have been unlucky in this game. They deserve something from this game. Chelsea, they played really, really well. Arsenal are in a second rest. Well, the full-time whistle has gone. And it's a big win for Arsenal in the title race, as they do what Manchester City do as well this weekend and get an all-important 3 points. Arsenal win by 2 goals to 1. They've had 5 shots on target in the game from 12 shots in total. Chelsea had more possession, but Arsenal get the 3 points and extend their lead at the top of the table in the Premier League tonight. Goals from Saliba and Timber. Here is sort of Nkapie's goal. Will put through his own net. Gives all 3 points against Chelsea, but Chelsea pushed them all away. And that's the first defeat under Liam Senior in the Premier League for Chelsea as well. And Pedro stayed on side. Liam Delap would have got a point for Chelsea. Chelsea can be very undone by him for that. Well, the full score is Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1. What a game this has been today. Right, what we're going to do right now, before we look at the scores from the matches over this weekend, we want to bring you a stat. Today's matches in the Premier League, all of today's matches in the Premier League have ended by the same scoreline. We've also got the updated Premier League table, which we'll give you towards the end of the programme as well, which will be good to give you. Rather, before we give you those results, let's just bring in Mike Orleman, who's watched this game as well today. Also with a victory today, Mike. Extended their lead to the top of the table, but they were made to work for it. But what a game, and what a 3 points for Arsenal. And what a points made, Mike, made prizes. That could be a big win in the title race.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a really important victory on the back of Man City winning yesterday. And, you know, I thought we deserved it overall as well. I think the second half we played better. We had a few chances ourselves. Obviously, we got the goal through Yuri and Timber, which I think is a great delivery and a good goal from Timber there. And there's no foul either. I'm not too sure what Rob Sanchez was complaining about, but it's not a foul for me. I think he's been he wasn't great today, Rob Sanchez, from a Chelsea point of view. I feel that, you know, I said at half time, we had about 20-25 minutes in the first half where he was giving the ball away very sloppily and could have been caught out a couple of times there. And then obviously the goal, he should do better on that as well. It's not, you know, not a foul. And I think it's a deserved victory in the end. You know, it's not pretty. It's not vintage Arsenal by any stretch of the imagination. It's, you know, not exactly going to matter though. You know, it's the result that matters at the end of the day rather than how you get over the line. And, you know, last week we were vintage Arsenal. We, you know, we're very good in that game against Tottenham, and we followed it up, which is exactly what we wanted with another victory again today.
Yes, as you mentioned earlier, Mike, big game coming in midweek against Brighton. It's going to be important for Arsenal if they can go to Brighton and get them 3 points, because especially with City games coming up, I think for me on paper, when you look at the games on paper, no games not played on paper or won on paper, shall we say. But for me, the games that City have got compared to Arsenal's running, for me, City have got a favourable run of fixtures, and Arsenal have got some favourable fixtures in there. But overall, the amount of fixtures that they've got to play, I think Arsenal have got the tougher of the two games that are for coming up in the remainder of the game or of the season. So it's going to be important for Arsenal to continue and get 3 wins on the bounce against Brighton at the Emirates, which is going to be a tough game down there for Arsenal, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, they won earlier as well. They were victorious by 2-1 themselves today in their game over Nottingham Forest. So they'll be going to that game confident of getting a result and surprising a few people. If you look at the fixtures, obviously I mentioned before that Man City host Nottingham Forest, and you fancy them to get the result that they need. And then after that, there's quite a lot of gap in between, so the FA Cup and Champions League. But then the next game is on the 14th of this month when Arsenal host Everton at the Emirates and Manchester City. Let's see who they've got that day or that weekend. They play West Ham away. So you'd probably fancy them to win that game again. Obviously, with West Ham being in the position that they're in towards the bottom end of the table, and Everton are fighting for a European place. Really, they're only 5 points behind Chelsea now, and 3 points behind Brentford in 7th. So, but you never know what might happen with West Ham. Obviously, they'll be fighting for their lives as well. And then the next game after that is not until April the 11th when Chelsea host Manchester City, and that'd be a very good game in itself. Obviously there's Champions League and the League Cup final between that, which might be a key factor in the title as well, the League Cup final and what way that goes between Arsenal and Manchester City. And then Arsenal on that weekend of the 11th of next month hosts Bournemouth, and obviously Bournemouth are mid-table as well, so you know, they might be fighting for a European place come that point as well. So it should be interesting. It should be a very enjoyable end to the season, and we've just got to keep winning and keep doing what we're doing at the moment and see where it takes us.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. You've got to say as well, though, Mike, with Arsenal in recent seasons, they've been in this sort of position before, around about this sort of time, even earlier in the season. And they've tried to get a win instead of a big game like this. But then in other games, they end up dropping off after this. Obviously, there was that bit of spell early on in the season where you thought it could happen. Are you still confident? Do you think it's still in the back of your mind that that could happen again, Mike? Or do you think, from what you've seen over the past 3 games, that Arsenal starting to turn that corner, they going on that sort of run like that to get a victory and go on to get the title? Or do you think, are you still sticking by whoever wins the League Cup final or the Carabao Cup final, whichever way you want to call it, is going to be key to see who goes on to win the title in this season?
Yeah, I think whoever wins the League Cup final will be the ones that go on and win the title for me as well. I think that if Arsenal can do it, then obviously we've got over the line in a competition and have gone on and won something. So that might take us through. But then again, Manchester City might be wounded if they lose that. And you never know if Arsenal lose it, then how it might affect the league form as well after that. But no, I feel that the League Cup final is going to, or the Carabao Cup final is going to have a big impact on whoever goes on and wins the league. I feel that both teams are doing what they need to do in the Premier League, and there's not a lot really between the two sides in terms of quality. I feel that both teams are pretty even in that aspect. Both have got a lot of attacking intent, and both are getting the jobs done when they need to at the moment. So yeah, that League Cup or Carabao Cup final, I feel, if somebody can go on and win that, especially if it's Arsenal, then it might be what drives Arsenal on to go on and win the league as well.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. I think whoever wins out finals have maintained for quite a while now, and speak to you all as well. Whoever wins that Carabao Cup final for me will go on and lift the Premier League title as well, and maybe, just maybe, going to win the FA Cup as well. Speaking of FA Cup, we've got some FA Cup action coming later on next weekend here on it. I'll make sure you stay tuned to find out what that games are going to be coming up later in the week when we tell you, because we've got a game on in midweek, which we'll tell you about just towards the end of the programme. Just looking at some of the games today, Mike. Obviously, you put a message that I think earlier on saying, does anyone know when the last time the games all ended by 2 goals to 1 on the same weekend by the same home sides? As you can see there, all the results from this weekend. We'll just run you through those right now, in fact, while they're on the screen there. Wolverhampton 1-2, Aston Villa 0 on Friday Night Football. Saturday was Bournemouth 1, Sunderland 1, Burnley 3, Brentford 4, Liverpool 5, West Ham 2, Newcastle 2, Everton 3. Saturday Night Football saw Leeds United 0, Manchester City 1. Leeds United very unlucky and were the better side in that game against Manchester City, but just fell short. And then on Super Sunday this weekend saw Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1, Fulham 2, Tottenham 1, Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1. Mike, did you find out when that last time happened? When all the teams in the same competition won 2-1 on the same day?
Not at the moment. I'm still trying to do some research into that. So if anyone's got any inclination, or anyone can help, then let us know. Because now I'm still trying to delve a bit deeper into that at the moment. I can't actually see anywhere obvious that's kind of where it's jumping out at me. So not as of yet, but I'll keep looking.
No, Matt, thank you very much there. What we're going to do now, well, we've got onto the scores page. Let's continue with the scores from this weekend before we wrap up with the Premier League table at the end of the programme. Let's look at the EFL Championship. On Friday night was Bristol City 1, Watford 2 on Friday Night Football. On Saturday was Derby County 3, Blackburn Rovers 1, Leicester City 0, Norwich City 2, Portsmouth 0, Hull City 1, Charlton Athletic 0, Wrexham 1, Coventry 2, Stoke City 1, Ipswich 3, Swansea 0, Oxford 2, West Brom 1, Preston 0, Millwall 2, QPR 0, Sheffield United 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Southampton 3. Monday Night Football this week comes from the Championship. Birmingham City versus Middlesbrough. Into League 1, Leyton Orient from Saturday was Leyton Orient 1, Barnsley 3, Northampton 1, Peterborough 1, Doncaster 0, Cardiff 4, Exeter 1, Bolton Wanderers 5, Lincoln 4, Blackpool 0, Mansfield 2, FC Wimbledon 2, Port Vale 1, Luton Town 1, Reading 2, Bradford 1, Rotherham 1, Plymouth 0, Stevenage 2, Stockport 1, Wigan 1, Huddersfield Town 0, Wickham 3, Burton Albion 0. Into League 2 then. On Friday night football was Harrogate Town 1, Cheltenham Town 1. Saturday as well was Cambridge 1, MK Dons 1, Shrewsbury Town 1, Walsall 2, Swindon 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Barnet 1, Chesterfield 0, Barrow 0, Gillingham 1, Bromley 2, Accrington 1, Colchester 0, Salford 1, Crewe 2, Tranmere 1, Fleetwood Town 0, Newport County 0, Notts County 0, Grimsby 1, and Oldham 2, Crawley Town 0. Just before we look at the league table, let's just remind you what we've got coming up next onto the channel. And our next live offering comes from Premier League Matchday 29 at Villa Park, where Aston Villa take on Chelsea at 7:30 p.m. that evening. We'll also give you updates on the other games being played on that evening there. Let's take a look then at the Premier League table before we leave you this evening. And in the Premier League table as it stands at the top end of the table, as you can see there at the top end of the Premier League table, Arsenal sitting pretty at the top on 64 points, Man City in second on 59, Manchester up to third on 51, level on points with Aston Villa, who dropped down to fourth. Liverpool are up to fifth after their 5-2 victory this weekend over West Ham. They're sitting 48th. Chelsea, who've lost today to Arsenal, sit in sixth on 45 points, just 3 points behind Liverpool now. Brentford 2 points behind Chelsea after they won 4-3 against Burnley this weekend. Everton with their victory at Newcastle yesterday up to 8th. Fulham up to 9th with their 2-1 victory early today, and Bournemouth make up the top 10 in the table there. Into the bottom end of the table then, you can see there from the table there, Brighton, good win for them over Nottingham Forest. They're up to 11th on 37 points. Sunderland in 12th, and they go to Leeds in midweek. They're on 37 points. So Newcastle dropped down to 13th on 36 points. Palace have dropped down as well. They're now sitting 14th on 35 points. Leeds are in 15th on 31 points. They take on Sunderland on Tuesday evening. Tottenham against in 16th after losing to Fulham early today. Brighton being Nottingham Forest and Forest, just outside the drop zone by 2 points. West Ham in the bottom 3 on 25 points. Burnley in 19th on 19 points. And Wolves are in 20th on 13 points there. Mike says he don't think it's happened before in the Premier League history. He's been asked on X at the moment, no one's answering it. Yes, so he suggests that means probably hasn't happened in Premier League history that all teams have won by 2-1. Also, just to tell you as well, Arsenal are now 11 games unbeaten against Chelsea, 8 wins and 3 draws now. And we just see the goals again. Brilliant first goal from Arsenal from William Saliba, who opened the scoring this evening from a header from a corner set up by Gabriel. Chelsea did get back on level terms just before half time when Piero Capi headed into his own net from a Reece James corner. We'll give you that stat in a second from Paul after I'll just tell you through these goals again. Good corner from Reece James there. Mikel Arteta wasn't happy with that piece of defending. Declan Rice put the ball into the net, into the corner. Yuri Timber got an end of the corner from Declan Rice to put Arsenal 2-1 in front, and that's the way the scoring ended. The last win for Chelsea against Arsenal was back in 2021. As you can see there, our next live coverage here on the channel is on Wednesday evening when Chelsea travel to Villa Park to take on Aston Villa, minus Pedro Neto, who saw red in our game earlier today. Let's just quickly look again at the match stats before we finish for today's fixture between Arsenal and Chelsea here at Villa at the Emirates. So we'll have a look at all the stats if we can, as we just read you through the stats there on the screen. 12 shots to 9 in favour of Arsenal, 5 on target in favour of 3. Expected goals is 1.13 for Arsenal, 1.05 for Chelsea. 41% possession for Arsenal, 59 for Chelsea. 5 corners for Arsenal, 10 for Chelsea. 1 yellow card and 5 yellow cards for Chelsea. And also what I'll tell you about is also, which you can't see on that screen there just a moment, 0 red cards for Arsenal, 1 red card for Chelsea in the end there. So that's all we're going to do there. And Michael also says, after St. Tony's Day Gunners, the earliest one in history, Spurs can no longer catch Arsenal's points. They can no longer finish above the Gunners. So John Kidd, if you're listening, Spurs can no longer finish above Arsenal or catch Arsenal in the title race. Our next live offering, as I mentioned already throughout the afternoon, comes on Wednesday evening as Aston Villa take on Chelsea. Join me for that coverage again, more live coverage here on the channel. Join us again on Wednesday for that game. Will Chelsea bounce back, or will Villa bounce back? Well, Villa not been great in recent weeks as well. But full time in our match here tonight, Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1. Arsenal 8 wins and 3 draws, unbeaten in their last 11 against Chelsea as they march on and sit pretty at the top of the table. Arsenal won by 2 goals to 1 against Chelsea. From all of us here, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again soon. Take care and have a good rest of your Sunday and rest of your weekend. We'll see you on Wednesday. Goodbye for now.